Welcome to Kids Club. I'm Danielle, the Youth and Family Advocate with New Beginnings, and I'm your host for this series of videos about resilient skills. So, to start off, I want to share what we did last week. So last week, we started off talking about feelings and how feelings affect our body. At the very beginning, we used a feelings wheel, which is a tool that you can use to name your feelings. And that can either be through words, like pointing to a specific word for a feeling, or we showed feelings wheels that used color and illustrations too. So sometimes you don't know how you're feeling, you don't know how to say it, but maybe you can draw it or you know what color it feels like. And that can be the first step to really getting to know what you're feeling and how you can help yourself feel better if it's not a good feeling. We also talked about how feelings affect our body and how a feeling isn't just something that's in your head, it's something that affects your body all over. You know, some people have feelings in their hands get shaky or sweaty. Some people it affects their heart. Some people their skin gets hot or cold. So that's why it's important to talk about our feelings too, because it's also something that affects our body. And we also talked about a few things that you might be able to try to help yourself feel better. And we talked about how different things work for different people. So we shared a whole list of ideas that you could try to see what helps you feel better if the feeling you're having is uncomfortable or upsetting. And I mentioned that today, this week, we were going to talk in more detail about a couple of those ideas, one of which is muscle relaxation. So since feelings do affect your body, one way that you can help yourself feel better is by focusing on your body first, and ways that you can help your body calm down. So we're going to go through a few of these muscle relaxation activities that are pretty simple to remember, and hopefully they're kind of fun too, so that they can help you lift your mood in that way. The first one deals with your face and nose. If you feel that feeling in your face and nose, this is a relaxation technique you can try. And if you want, you can imagine that a fly came by and landed right on your nose, and you're trying to get it off your nose with just your face. So wrinkle up your nose really tight, make as many wrinkles as you can. And do you notice when you scrunch up your nose, it moves your cheeks and your mouth too? Your whole face can't help but move when you do that. Hold it for 10 seconds. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. And you got the fly off. Notice how your face relaxes and feels kind of loose and tingly after you do that? Remember, a fly landed on your nose. You're trying to get it off. A lot of times we can hold our feelings in our jaw too. I know that happens to me quite a bit. And I notice that if I'm really stressed, if I focus on my jaw and just relax it, I start to feel better. But this one gives you a really specific way to move your jaw. So pretend that you're trying to eat a big carrot or like a huge sandwich, and you're just trying to bite down as hard as you can for 10 seconds. Ah, did you get through it? And you can also try what the boy in the video is doing too, and just kind of moving your jaw around, getting it nice and loose. Okay. Our neck and our shoulders are also muscles that hold a lot of our feelings. So in this one, pretend you're a turtle. So notice our turtle in the videos. Scrunching its head up, way back into the shell. Try to push your shoulders up to your ears as much as you can. Hold it tight for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you can come out now. And again, you tighten those muscles and then you release them so quickly. It makes those muscles feel looser, maybe releases some of those feelings that you were keeping in there. All right, arms and shoulders. So I know that I have a pet cat and I see him doing these beautiful cat stretches all the time where he stretches out all of his muscles, and I can just tell it makes him feel so much better. So one of our stretches is like when a cat stretches in the video. So you just woke up from a nap, you stretch your arms out in front of you, just like our kitty on the screen. Stretch as far as you can in front of you. Feel how it pulls in your shoulders. Okay, and then raise your arms up way above your head. Try to touch as high as you can. Really stretch your arms as much as you can. Okay, can you hold that for 10 seconds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. All right. This one is for our hands and arms. So I want you to pretend you have a lemon or something else. It can be whatever object you want. Something in your hand, and you want to squeeze it. Squeeze it as hard as you can. Really curl your hands into fists as tight as you can without hurting yourself. Try to squeeze the juice out if it's a lemon, you know, and you want to make fresh lemonade. Hold that for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My hands feel a little tingly. I also noticed it in my arms too. It's interesting that just by clenching your fist, it goes all the way up your arm and affects those muscles too. Now we're going to squeeze our stomach. The stomach is often a place where we have our feelings too. It's a little different than the one in the video. Our rabbit is squeezing downward, but this one, you can do what the rabbit is doing and be on your stomach, on your back, and squeeze that way. Or if you're standing up, try to squeeze your stomach back. And the idea shown here is that you're trying to squeeze through a fence, so a space that's really small. So suck your stomach in as much as you can. Try to make your stomach and back as small as you can, like you're trying to squeeze through something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You made it. Our back stretch, we imagine that we are on a swing. So this one might be a little harder for me to show you in the video, but I want you to imagine that you are sitting on a swing and you're trying to get up, swing up as far as you can. So this one might be better if you're sitting down on a chair or something where you can move your legs and arms without falling over. So you try to swing your upper body back and forth, just like you were on a swing. And if you can, move your legs back and forth too for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. And our legs and feet, we are going to pretend that we are standing in a big mud puddle, which for Seattle is probably easy to find with all the rain. So, but this one we're just going to imagine. So you're in a big mud puddle. Maybe you're in your bare feet and you really want to feel the mud squish between your toes. So you can stomp your feet a little bit, especially if you're standing up. This might be easier to do standing up. If you're sitting down, you can also try to curl your toes in as much as you can. So I'm not flexible enough to show you my feet, but curl your toes in just like you would with your fingers on your feet. Really try to squish them into the mud as much as you can. And then you can try to push down on your legs too while you're doing that. Really stomp and squish in the mud. And just like with our fists, notice how when you curl your toes and do stuff with your feet, you usually feel it in your legs too. So sometimes, even though we're focusing on one body part, it really affects a lot of other muscles in the area too. Okay. I want to take a second just to ask if anyone has any questions about the muscle relaxation activities we just did. Okay, so let's go back to our breathing exercises. This was another technique that I said last week we would talk a little bit more about this week. So kind of like our muscle relaxation activities, these breathing exercises are specific ways you can count and control your breath to try to help your body feel better when you're having really uncomfortable or uncontrollable feelings. One of them is called ocean breathing, and it's really simple. You know how sometimes if you put a shell or something to your ear, it can sound like you hear ocean waves? So cup each ear with your hand and breathe deeply in and out. This can help, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed with noises and you just kind of need some of your own space, but it's hard to find at the moment. You can make your own space. You can go to the ocean, cup both your hands around your ears. Spider-Man breathing is really fun. So sit crisscross on the floor, but you could also do this if you're walking too. And place your palms up on your knees or just hold them out. And you bring your ring, that's your third finger, and your middle finger in so that they touch your palms. That's what Spider-Man does, right? Before he shoots his webs. So you make that Spider-Man hand with both of your hands. And with each breath in, open your hands. So, and then when you exhale, you shoot your webs. All right? Okay. And you don't have to just have them in front of you here. You can shoot them anywhere in the room, behind you, in front of you, up at the ceiling, wherever Spider-Man needs to shoot his webs. So, We also have butterfly breathing, which is really cool. So let me show you. You're going to clasp your hands together like this. So you have your hands holding each other like that in front of you. And you're also going to get your elbows to touch. So see? Really tight. And then on the inhale, so you're going to have your hands and your arms squeezed together like this under your chin. On the inhale, you lift your elbows like this. And on your exhale, you bring them back down. See how that looks a little bit like a butterfly wing? Okay, so just flapping your wings till you feel better. We also have crocodile breathing, which I really enjoy. So you have your arms out straight, like this. And this says to have your right arm above your left, but you can flip it. It doesn't really matter. So when you breathe in, you're going to open the crocodile mouth. And then when you exhale, you snap the mouth shut. All right, you ready? You can even give your crocodile teeth if you want to. So we're going. Notice too that some of these breathing exercises tighten our muscles too. So sometimes this can be 2 for 1. You have a little bit of those muscle tightening things and a breathing exercise at the same time. So you're really focusing on helping your body calm down when you do some of these. We also have dragon breathing. This one, you have to make dinosaur hands. It's non-negotiable. So you're going to breathe in, really simple. And then when you breathe out, pretend you're breathing out fire and put your hands back. Your claws, I mean. Ready? So. We can do better than that, right? Big dragon breath. All right. We also have snake breathing. A lot of reptiles help us to breathe. So with snake breathing, we're going to hold our hands together like this in front of our chest. But we have just our palms flat against each other. So for this one, you inhale. And when you exhale, make your arms be a snake. Get them as wiggly as you can. You can also, instead of just breathing out, you can make a snake sound. Okay, let's try it. Someone is getting too close to you and you're an irritated snake and you have to let them know they're too close. There you go. Good wiggle. This might be one that someone has taught to you before. It's called square breath, or you can use any shape that you want. But this one, you're just tracing a shape in the air with your finger while you're breathing. So we have our pointer fingers, and you're going to draw the line of whatever shape you want. And with each line, you're going to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So with a square, this would look like If we did a triangle, it would look like this. If you wanted to do a circle, you could decide however you want to do that. If you wanted to do it at the half of the circle, you breathe out, or each circle is a breath in and out. Do we have any questions about those breathing exercises or any of the muscle relaxation activities we did together? Okay. That is the end of our video for this week. But for follow-up, you can keep watching this video after I've posted it on our YouTube channel and practice those tightening and releasing muscle activities. And try to use one of them when you notice feelings affecting your body in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable or out of control. So if you're feeling really angry or sad or nervous, and you're really feeling that in your body somewhere, try using one or two of these exercises and seeing if it helps. And maybe the one you try first doesn't help, and that's okay. Maybe that one doesn't work for that specific feeling or for you. But you can try the other ones and see if any of those are helpful. Also practice a couple of the breathing exercises. There's some that maybe would work better in different situations. Like when I mentioned the ocean breathing, like if you need to kind of feel like you have your own space. If you just need to shut out what you're seeing and what you're hearing, sometimes this can be helpful. But if you're sad and maybe doing something silly is going to help you feel better, you can try one of the ones that's a little more fun, like the snake breathing or the Spider-Man breathing. Something that's a little more playful might help you feel better if you're sad. And you can make up your own too. This is really just a chance for you to focus on where you're feeling these things in your body, focusing on that part of your body and giving it some relief. So you can make up your own muscle relaxation or breathing exercise that works for you. Maybe making a silly face is something that helps you, and you come up with your own muscle relaxation or breathing exercise that goes with that. Or maybe you really liked the stomping with our feet in the mud. That's something that was really helpful. And you can come up with some other kind of stomping muscle or breathing activity. Like, what does a stomping hippo muscle relaxation activity look like? Maybe that's something that you can come up with and share with us later. Speaking of that, remember that if you do have a drawing or activity you want to share, or if you have a question about something you watched this week or another week, you can email our Gmail address right here with that question or activity, as long as your trusted adult says that it's okay. Remember that these videos are shared on the internet, and we want to make sure that everyone's information is kept private and safe. For next week's video, we are going to talk about responsibility, which I know doesn't sound very fun, but we are going to focus on you. So what are your responsibilities as a kid? And more importantly, what are you not responsible for? Sometimes these can be hard questions to answer. So we're going to talk about that. And for you to be a healthy person, what's your responsibility to focus on? And what is the responsibility of adults that you shouldn't have to worry about? So that's what we'll talk about next week. Reminder that these videos will be posted to our YouTube page with captions, usually within a couple days of the recording. And for adults watching too, this is just information about New Beginnings and the different services we offer. We have a 24-hour helpline that's available to call anytime for any reason. Well, thank you so much for joining me this week as we made silly faces and breathed together. And I hope that I will see you next week.